sure that we bring some newness of purpose and sense of direction to the work you do, because this work you do have a greater impact on our peace, and we won't sit that the information is distorted, is twisted in a way that presents the legislature as an irresponsible institution. So those actions still stand. There has been some intervention from the Press Union of Liberia. There have been some intervention from the West African Journalists Association. Yeah. People have been calling in personally. Dr. Mohammed Sharif, former ambassador to London or England, calling, and other persons have been concerned. So we are reviewing our decision in a way that is amicably resolved, except that the legislative reporters, the leadership, issued a statement against the speaker, which was unfair to the speaker. I signed a letter, taking that action. The management of Truth FM, instead of engaging us and asking us to reconsider our decision, went on the radio and discussed the issue, and then after 5 days, wrote us and said they reject our decision. And we thought that was an affront, that was an inappropriate and administrative way of addressing it. So we raised the concern with Mr. Kovabi and other personnel at Renaissance. Said, look, we have a problem. We should sit on the table and discuss it, instead of going on the radio and trying to malign the speaker and trying to castigate me, But as we stand on this, they having expressed any apology of the letter they wrote, that they reject our decision. If you know that I don't have the right to remove you as a reporter, then you don't write me and ask me to place you there as a reporter. You don't ask for accreditation. As it is, the state radio, EFBC, just wrote us a communication to accredit 2 journalists. We are reviewing it. We may not consider that request based on some of the criteria we set, but we're in discussions. So
what are some of the criteria, sorry, Mr. Red, of late now? You
must be able to deport and comport yourself in a way that meets, first, the code of ethics of the President of Liberia. We have a standard code of ethics, and I can accredit a person at the capital who is not a member of the President of Liberia. President of Liberia has a criteria. He must have practiced for 5 years. So somebody comes from one journalism school or who been listening to the radio or self-trained, and then brings a letter to the capital and say he's being accredited by this institution. We ask you, how long have you practiced? And you tell me 2 years. I had an incident 2013 or 2012 thereabout with a gentleman who walked up to the office for a Liberty Radio for accreditation. So I just threw it at him. It was not a serious conversation, but I just jokingly said, you better go do some business. You don't appear to me like a journalist. How do you know? I said, but look at your dress code and the way you come and approach me. He said, we will laugh about it. Then I said, but let me ask you one question. Who is the current speaker of the 52nd legislature? 53rd it was. And he said, James Barney. So James Barney from which county? He said, Bombing County.
Wow.
So I mean, in the presence of some of my workmates, I said, here's a man who comes to the capital to cover the legislature.
He doesn't even know the speaker.
He doesn't know the name of the speaker. Then I gave him accreditation. Then somebody say it's the right of every institution to come and cover the legislature. Well, yes, let's assume it's a right. But there are guidelines and principles and policy laid down at every institution. It's a right of every journalist to go and cover every event. But can every journalist go and cover a Lone Star game? No. It must be supposed to write accredited by the institution to the LFA. But I can't just jump out. I say I'm a journalist, I must cover this game. I mean, pray tell me. So we'll be having all kind of little small problems. This issue with the recent revocation of some journalists' accreditation has managed to bring us some new idea. I had a meaningful discussion with my colleague, Mr. Afonso Zion, on this issue. Well, I said, can we lay down a number of rules where would legislature develop them as so people sign on to that if I violate, I come with short trouser, and I'm warned, and I come with short trouser, and I'm warned, you come with a sleeveless t-shirt, or after several offenses, then your accreditation can be revoked. Can we lay that down? We didn't have it. We expect that everybody will go with the general principle of media, media work. So that code of ethics that guide us as journalists must be the first, self advantage for you to read and know. Then you come to the capital and know what you're doing. We don't have to put, because it's just a big book, there are a couple of small rules laid down and regulations. We don't have to come and lay them down again at the capital to come for you to go by. But by and large, we're working with Mr. Musa Kane, who is one of those presidents, who is the president of Legislative. He still covers and reports for True FM at the Liberian Senate. We're working with him. One of my bosses took exception to our action, Honorable Nangwe Slaw, who said he was going to badly take Musa into the chamber. I went to his office immediately. We sat and discussed, boss, this is not the way to go. I am, your lieutenant. You've asked me to do a piece of job. If I didn't do it right and you have some corrections to make, let me walk out through my office. And he understood it from there. The PEL wrote me a communication that I'll be looking at by the 1st of April. And to see how we...
You'll be looking at by the 1st of... What does that mean?
Meaning that I show by the 1st of April that we will take some action to reply to PEL in terms of the request they made to us. I said 1st of April because we will be riding around the month for... There's a month declared for World Press Freedom Day.
Yeah, sure.
So as we enter that month to celebrate, then we'll be looking at all those issues.
That could be a sensible decision. Very smart one.
I didn't have to say that anyway, but then it tricked me.
But Azika, looking at your work with that of the Liberian Senate, talking about the media or press who at the Senate, how have you guys been working in terms of controlling information, in terms of when you take a decision, for example, and then that can also be affected from the end of the Liberian Senate? A case of Musa, are you people working in that direction?
Oh yeah, the Liberian Senate and I, the director there and the media office there and my office have been coordinating a lot of joint events, especially when it comes to the opening, the annual messages, and other legislative issues. Like you have, the past 2 weeks, the funeral of Dr. Sharif. We've been involved and worked together, and sometimes budget hearings too. The budget comes next month, the 30th, the budget of President Weah. So there will be joint budget hearings. Sometimes we do it separately, but most times we do it together. And Musa is a reporter for Truth FM at the Liberian Senate. And so if he's coming to us as a reporter from the Liberian Senate, we gave him space and deal with him. Then again, he's the president of Legislative, so he made some interventions in issues. When we had a decision to restrict the number of journalists to 9, he brought up to my attention. I was not in the know of that decision. My understanding was something done by the security. So I engaged the speaker and said, I'm the media person. If we have this restriction on the number of journalists, we hinder our work. It would suggest that we have not been media friendly. The media wants to hang up in the ceiling to get the news. Let them get the news. They want to lay on the floor to get the news. They just should be respectful and decorous. And then the speaker understood my position, and he asked the security to reverse their decision. My understanding, the security took the decision because sometimes the media section, the gallery, was getting rowdy with people talking, having conversation while section was ongoing. So we talked to our colleagues to conduct themselves in a way that they will understand they're covering the legislature. You won't go do that in the court. You won't enter the court and then try to disrupt by your conversation. You'll be excommunicated. The court will take some very stringent measures. So our measure was, from the security end, was to just put 9 chairs. You first enter, and the 9 chairs are occupied. Then, of course, the 9 persons were covered, and we had 27 persons accredited. So
currently,
currently, you imagine taking only 9 out of 27. So it was not a good decision. And when I brought that to the speaker's attention, he was quite considerate, and he just asked me to work with them so that they won't do those things that necessitated the security's action. And as we speak right now, all 27 reporters are accredited. We have got some information that 1 or 2 persons not accredited have formed a smaller clique that sit around the speaker's car and sit around the corridor and trying to blackmail. That information is being investigated. My understanding that is headed by a big brother who shouldn't be doing that, Roland Wowie. But people are what they are. But I think we can still work with Roland. We ask the president to talk to him that he should try to remove himself from the capital's ground and don't do things that are inimical to the media, because whatever he does by his action generally reflect on our own profession.
Generally, as a journalist and looking at the media work in Liberia, what can you say in terms of the media help?
We haven't got there. We haven't gotten there. One minute it appears as if we're making some progress. Then another minute we're coming down the ladder. Media people are professional people, career people, go to school, and they're underpaid. They are looked down as press boys. They are subjected to humiliation. Sometimes you go to occasion and people are served. The caterers will just, probably look at you and say, I thought that they will have way for the dignitaries, ministers to go so and eat, and then guests will go so and eat, and media goes so and eat. But the people tell you, your media people, you gotta wait. In fact, the food, they say things to you as if you're not, a career person, as if you're not a responsible person. Media people are fathers, they're mothers. Media people are, are equally as professional as politicians, as geologists, as nurses and doctors. But they are sidestepped. And I think we to some extent, we are responsible for the way people look at us. We undermine our own career. People take us for granted, and elections are coming, and people want you to do the job. They look for you in the morning, they send for you, they recognize that you are important to getting them to a political position or position of appointment. When they get it, they say, Mr. Isaac Ray, Chief, the journalist here to you, he said, oh, Isaac, that's a way. Because during the period of my service, I was taking $5, $10. So the politician, all the nurse or doctor with newsman believed that he's reading me off. He's paid me while I was doing my job. I didn't qualify myself to make a bill to say, look, the service I'm going to provide, it worth this amount. I just go for free. You just take me on. So we take money from one end to damage the other end. We make deals that we know we're not allowed to do to us, because it is written in our code. Don't do things to people that you're not allowed, to be done to you. So somebody come and give me $100 and say, oh, go and write something about Representative X, or go and write something about President Weir, or go and write something about my minister, and we just blind ourselves to the truth and write falsehood. So everybody look at you as I'll give the media $50. How much I get? $20. So we must stand up, rise up to the plate, and know that we are the people that set the pace, set the agenda, the economy of the country. See what's happening with some of the media institutions. Somebody will go and write or say something on the radio that if I go and promote the national team on my radio station, I'm promoting the CDC government. You negate the loyalty to the state because of CDC. Something that you should be patriotic and very passionate about to promote. Lose that goes and get defeated, let us celebrate that defeat, that our country flag was flown in the qualification rounds. Whether we get defeated, we defeated and we'll cut out the tournament with pride and dignity. Our players did not go and slap the referee. Our players did not misbehave. They were disciplined as a country. So we take pride out of the defeat. But then you go and say, if I support Lone Star and Lone Star wins, so it means that I'm supporting the CDC government. Lone Star is far bigger. Lone Star has been here years before we knew what you call CDC or sedition or President Weir. They were Lone Star before George Manneh Weir. They were Lone Star before the government current. So it is unpatriotic. It's quite unbelievable that Liberians would do what they're doing. And I think we as media people are responsible. We're charting the wrong course. We're taking our airtime and giving it to useless political discussions. We should be talking about how we can grow what we eat. Or we should be talking about the economy. How many of us talking about the recent decision of the government of Liberia on Saturday to address the economic condition of the country? How is that message, going down to the people, so that people know that the demurrages on containers have been removed, so that the days that people have declared a container from the free port of Monrovia has been increased rather than 5 to 7. So how are we working it out? But people want to celebrate misinformation. People want to celebrate somebody's death, politicized death, and say, "Oh, this death is, this person is responsible." And I think we've misusing our tooth, we're misusing our gift, we're misusing our potential as media houses, whether print or electronic, and we're saying the wrong things, and it's not helping us. It's continuous in a way that when people see you say, "I think we're a journalist," they try to discard you, they try to discredit you because somebody has said something. Oh, we're not. No person, whether media or noise, nobody is perfect. We are prone and we're susceptible to errors, but we must take cue from what other people are doing aggressively to bring the country up, and just don't create stories and make somebody look bad because you don't like that person.
Mr. Isaac Ware is the Director of Press at the House of Representatives, joining us this morning on the show. So for those of you who are following, you can participate by calling 0776-089-713, 0776-089-713, or 0880-514-096, 0880-514-096, and be a part of our conversation here this morning on the platform. Let me hear from this person. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You're live. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Daniel Ishi, and I'm from PNG.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, this is good morning to your studio guest, Mr. Ray. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Daniel.
Okay. I listen to him and I listen to all the points he goes through. Many of what he says is true. But really, we don't shift the blame on only the media houses or shift blame on other people. We all need to take responsibility. If you look at the government, from the government angle, you have the Ministry of Information, Culture, and Tourism. That ministry responsibility is not to be sitting there and defending everything people say about government or pushing back and lashing at people. The responsibility is disseminate the information that is necessary for the public, especially when it comes to those good things that the government is doing. People is under the government for one cardinal reason to do good, and that's all. So we have to the government will get involved with or bring good and development to the people. The Ministry of Information should disseminate those information down the line like that. We don't need people in darkness. When people are left in darkness, nothing good to say about it. Because at the end of the day, you hear things moving here and there, but we all need to fix it like you said. The government needs to direct its attention now to the economy, especially the agriculture sector, to see how people can make this country better. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Good morning.
As we are waiting to Mr.
But sorry, I just want to say something about Daniel, please. Okay, the last caller. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. We have a lot of work to do. We can't be reacting. We must be proactive. The government has an agenda. That agenda has to be taken to the people. The people, yeah, a good percentage of our population resides in Monrovia. But equally so, we have to go to the Leewards, where we have to encourage people to plant rice, right? To do just like with Ghana agriculture, other people are doing with edibles and yam and cassava and our local edibles, and leave the red syndrome. What are we doing as an information ministry? That was quite very appalled, right? One of the ministers right on Facebook, I mean, that was irresponsible. That if government Firestone says it will drop 800 workers, the government will have to sit down with Firestone and respond responsibly. But you go on Facebook and minister, you say, when one company leaves, 10 will come. You can't be doing this. It's not, you can, what 10 companies that you know coming, that you have to say that. Even if 10 companies were coming, that's not a proper way to respond to the Firestone situation. I think that was nonsense. We must be responsible, be proactive, go to the counties, tell the people, look, let's do our cassava, let's do our edible, let's do our plantain, let's do our yam. Let's take our economy away from importing rice, because it's heavily burdened to look for the foreign exchange to buy rice. What rice? Rice. Let's do our organic food. The president is about to make a nationwide tour. My understanding from some of the very close aides, the president is going to encourage people to go back to the soil. That's an easy way to redeem our economy and improve our livelihood, because the more organic food we eat in the interior, the healthier we are than this rice that people grow in 2 weeks and bring it here and causing problems for our system. So the president said, look, when I go to Vonyama, I will eat my arrows. That's what we want to hear. The Minister of Information should take it and run with it and tell the people in Vonyama, look, start getting more arrows for the president. Start getting more plenty for the president in Bond County, because the president said he's coming to eat his arrows. So President Weah tells me that. I feel happy because it sends that practical, you know, the president are wearing the purple suit, and was also wearing the purple suit. So the president goes to Bombing County and they bring his arrow that he's already told the people to look for arrow and plenties. It will suggest that we want to eat this because the president is taking the lead.
Sure.
That's what we want that message to go across, go down to the nooks and corners of the country. Then somebody will go and say, when fires don't go on, 10 companies will come. You shouldn't do that, Mr. Minister. And I thought that you can't be running government like you throwing hints.
Yeah.
You want
back
somebody back and forth. Somebody says, no. We can't do this. We're not talking about class. There's not student politics. This is the government. If you don't know statecraft, you don't know government, then we're not going to be teaching you because your report you put on Facebook. We just take it from the government, and then you go do something else and make some farms.
Okay, relationship with the current leadership. I'm talking about the press bureau. What's the relationship with the current leadership? How is it like?
With which leadership?
A relationship.
The government of Liberia?
The current leadership.
The press bureau and the leadership of the House, or which leadership?
The House of Representatives.
Oh, well...
Once upon a time, I can recall in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County, there was this session. Initially, you spoke legislative section as to the big.
No, things are not going as it should.
Okay.
And I think maybe because of the financial situation, but we've not been giving that support that a media office should have. Whether the reason is economic or the reason is incompetence on the part of the director, or somebody feels that the department is not important, but we have to probably find out why it's going the way it's going. But we have a very good and supportive Alex Tyler administration. Nukwi came in and took the trend, and maybe the pro thing, no money is kind of the problem. But if you are a press office responsible to articulate or responsible to project or promote the decision of the plenary, it is obvious that you need that support. You need stationery, you need things that will get you to do the work. The speaker has been talking to the chairman of Ways and Means. The Ways and Means chairman has been talking to the speaker to see how we get the support. Our best bet is that we keep hope alive and we get the support. Maybe after the budget is passed, as it is, it's not as we expected.
Well, we'll squeeze in about 3 to 4 more calls before we wrap it up on this segment. 0880-514-096, 0880-514-096. We're having some issues with our orange line, so we'll announce an alternative orange number, 0770-382-262, 0770-382-262. Go ahead, Julius.
Okay, let's have Lawrence from there. Lawrence, you laugh. Good morning.
Good morning, Julius, and good morning to Daniel and the rest of the people.
Go ahead, please.
I actually appreciate the Director for Public Affairs at the National Legislature to take off his time to come and explain some legislative proceedings and some of the progress made.
Yeah.
But I had an issue, and that is to have somebody who is also under the Ministry of Information and speaking to, I don't know the minister he's talking about, but maybe a minister have a read out on the social media expressing his opinion, whether official or not official, but to refer to the minister's statement as nonsense. I think he needs to immediately take it back because that is not in the right direction. But besides the issue of accreditation, that's a normal proceeding down there. When during the MPLA, those things were not happening. When Honorable George Koko was acting speaker, I can remember I was first attached to him. Those things were not happening. So there are progress that are being made at the National Legislature.
But referring to a government official in that line, I mean, I take a back, and he need to immediately withdraw that statement that he made describing that person the way he described that person. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Interesting. Let's hear from this one.
Lawrence, let us assume that they.
One minute, Mr. Ray, you come to Lawrence.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Daniel. My name is Martin. From Congo.
Martin, you're a bit low. Can you?
My name is Martin. I call you from Congo.
Go ahead, Martin.
Basically, I'm interested for the media to talk about tourism. Here, whether Labio has a zoo.
To talk about what? Tourism? No, Martin, we're not discussing tourism. I'm a journalist, man. Okay, go ahead, Isaac. Go ahead.
Lawrence, how you doing, my brother? I will assume that the comment on Facebook had come from maybe from the private capacity of Fagon, who said that if one company left, 10 will come. I thought that was an irresponsible way of responding, and I hope he didn't say as a government official. I mean, if he said as a government official, then of course but nonsense meaning there was no sense in his reaction, and we thought that we should be as government media people more responsible in responding to some of those major issues and be quite respectful and not just throw jabs as if we're joking. We're not joking here. If Firestone is threatened and the government responsible is engaging Firestone, I thought that would be the appropriate way for official statement than to say 10 company leaves, 10 company will come. That was not a responsible way of responding, and I hope he said it in his private capacity. If he said that as a government official, then I think but nonsense. Don't see it as an insult. No.
Okay, so at this point, with not much we do, let me take this one here before we wrap up. Good morning. Good morning. The lines are breaking this morning since we're having troubles with our lines here. Good morning. Okay, so that's one. That one is not coming through. So
I think the last caller meant to talk about tourism mountain because we're talking about the Ministry of Information and how we disseminate information. We should take some time and remove ourselves from unprovoked attack or unnecessary. Somebody just write something and we just respond that way as a government. I think we need to explore the tourism sector, the Minnesota River, as you see here, because we're not making use of it. So on land dealers or illegal land dealers are damaging the mangrove in my community I live. We are flood threatened right now, Daniel. The EP is aware. I think they're taking some action soon.
So let's take the last two, then you can wrap up as in about 30 seconds, Chief.
All right.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Daniel, and good morning to Isaac and your colleague. My name is Louis Stoba, and I called from Tinker Village. I just wanted to compliment the saying of Isaac. First of all, to say condolence for the loss of the representative. But I just want to give a short advice to the government ministry responsible for information dissemination and all of the public relation officers that they should put their house in order and they should concentrate to promote the good things that the government is doing.
That's what we should do.
So that the government cannot be seen as though it is not doing anything at all in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The final one. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, that person's off. Isaac, you got 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. And again, we appreciate the condolences. We are going to the office now to get some other details as it relates to the sudden death, tragic death of a representative. We leave with yes, encouraging media people to stand up to the task of setting the agenda that helps promote Liberia. As media people, we have our country first. And everything that the government is doing that helps to alleviate poverty and promote, the well-being of the people should be promoted. Tourism, and the last 30 seconds is on the issue of the EPA, the Land Authority, and the PPCC, Liberia National Police, involvement in stopping illegal land dealers. Is very prevalent in our community. In Jacobtown, where I live, a number of persons, 2 of them, we're trying to trace. We don't want to make open accusation here. We're trying to trace their well-being and their location. They're moving from one point to another. encouraging people to buy the swamp and damaging the mangrove.
Wow.
And you know that the mangrove trees are giving us 4 times the oxygen that we breathe, giving us 4 times as compared to the trees that are on the hard land. And so we need to preserve the mangrove, because it's another place for natural habitat. Crocodiles and other animals are habitating there, but people are just cutting down the mangrove, and selling the land. We can all engage one of the guys. He said his grandfather got land as far as Jigatown to the Oro. The mangrove, the grandfather, you must be a witchcraft. You must be, you must be a witchcraft. But I think the EPA and the police are working on something to surprise them, because it is every time the EPA goes in there, the next day they come back. EPA goes in, they come back. EPA goes in, they come back. So Mr. Nat Blama and his staff have been very aggressive in trying to put a plan together how they can grab some of those guys, and we hope that we can locate them. They will not be running from Nicholas-Town to 72nd, running around, illegally set the land and do things that are damaging and threatening, flawed, as well as removing the natural habitat. The Conservation International too is involved, and I hope the community leaders can come and talk about it on your radio at another time. I appreciate the opportunity, and we'll all work together and put Liberia first. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Azegwe, for joining us. Our next guest this morning is Mr. Smith Toby, the Deputy Press Secretary to the President. Stay tuned. We take a break. We'll be right back.
It's going to be hello. It's me. I was wondering if after all these years you liked me to go over everything. They say that I'm supposed to heal you, but I ain't done much healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about who we used to be when we were younger and free.